Hey everybody, this is October the 11th, 2021, and I, I got some pictures here that I got from Ken. He sent me an email. Ken, for those of you who don't know, Ken is another Morgellons sufferer, and he's been suffering for a long time with Morgellons. Um, he has he's become a good friend of mine, and we communicate through email about Morgellons, and other things. But um, these pictures that he sent me recently. Now, recently, I wanted to show you guys because Ken has sent me a lot of pictures in the past, and I haven't really showed them. But these pictures, I think, are significant because Ken has been working for a couple of years now, I know, trying to remove the Morgellons from his body. And as we all know, if you have Morgellons, you know that it's not an easy task. Morgellons is it just it's got a way of staying with you, and even when you go into remission, you can still have flare-ups, and it can come back at any time, and any kind of illness or anxiety or anything that happens to you can cause Morgellons to flare up in the body. But I wanted to show you these pictures that he sent recently, just to kind of show you just how difficult it is and how long it takes to remove the Morgellons from the body, because he's been going on 2 years, I know, and he still is extracting these weird and crazy looking particles and filaments and objects from his body. So I just want to show y'all a little bit of what he sent me to give you an idea of what you can look for. And a lot of you, I know, already know this, and you've already found this in your bodies, and you've already, you have your own pictures. But Ken has also sent me some information about a new treatment that he started, and I also wanted to share that with y'all because I think that he may have, you may have found something, that works better than what we've previously been using. Now, Ken is the inventor of Ken's Morgellons gel, and I do have a video about that, and the recipe for it, if you want to know anything about Ken's Morgellons gel, and it's really good. You can use this gel externally and internally because it's a smoothie, and that's actually how he discovered it. Is he was making a smoothie, and he realized when he drank it, he realized that it was pulling the Morgellons out of his around his mouth, and so he realized that this might be something that could help extract it from the rest of the body. So he invented Ken's Morgellons gel and shared it with me, and I've done a video about it and posted it on YouTube. So if you want to know about Ken's Morgellons gel, just go to the video, Ken's Morgellons gel, and watch it, and you'll find the recipe there and some more information. But I'm going to start out by showing you this. Let's see, this is the first picture that he showed, where this was in the bottom of his tub, okay, when he got out of the bathtub. Now these little black, specks of or objects, these things are hard. They're like little rocks or stones, and when you first start removing the Morgellons from the body, you're going to see a lot of these. They're going to cover your bathtub. They'll cover your shower, or anytime you're detoxing from Morgellons or removing Morgellons from the body, you're going to see these. And you might even find these on your bed sheets, because I know in the beginning I found these on my bed sheets. And you might find these too. So this is just to show you that even after years of doing the treatments and the detox, that you can still have the Morgellons embedded in the body. Now, I don't have this. I don't have this like this. I used to have these in the beginning. I had these little rock hard formations and things, and I had these other things that Ken has here. But over the years, most of this kind of particles, I think I have removed. So mainly what I have now when I do the treatments is I have the little, I always have the little sand like crystals. I always have them. I always find them in my bathtub. I find them on my washcloths and my clothes. They get in my bed. And I still find the little filaments, the long hair-like filaments that they look like hair, but they're finer than hair. I still find a lot of those. But the big stuff and the hard stuff, I don't really find anymore. So that's why I wanted to show y'all this of Ken's. So this is in the bottom of his bathtub after doing a treatment. Okay. And then, let's see what the next one he had here was. Oh yeah, this is a Q-tip for him, I guess, from his ears. Now, if you have Morgellons, you know how it affects the ears, okay? The ears, and I remember this so vividly, the ears, they itch so bad, and they can get so painful that you really, really can't find anything to help the ears unless you just put peroxide in your ears, or in my case, I use a lot of petroleum jelly in my ears in the beginning stages because I can't tell you how many of these Q-tips I got like this that were just coated in this Morgellons, and I call this the black goo because you see the black on it, and you see the yellow, which could be pus, but I think it's all the black goo, because they talk about the black goo that's in the body with Morgellons, and that the black goo is probably the hardest to remove. So, but it looks like that Ken is successful at removing the black goo from the ears. Okay. And here's one. This is more. Okay. Now, this is more the black goo. Okay, you can see from the black areas, you can tell that this has the black goo in it. But now this could be just a lot of the Morgellons fungus, or the gel, not the gel, but the goop that comes out. It is a gel-like structure, but it's not actually gel. It's kind of like sticky, like that comes out with Morgellons. If you haven't had the sores, then you may not know what I'm talking about. But if you have the sores, like I did, and you open those sores, you're going to see this. This is what it looks like when you open the sores, because this, in my case, was always coated right on the top of the sores, and then underneath, if you scrape this off, of the sores or the wounds, underneath it, you're going to find little pockets with more of the I don't know what to call them. I just call them little organisms down inside, and they form in little pockets inside of a nest, or a cocoon, or a beehive. It looks kind of like that. When the nest looked kind of like a beehive. So Ken got this. Ken removed this from doing his treatment that he's been doing, but this to me looks like what I used to pull off of the top of my sores, or there's a thin layer of what they call, I call it the fungus, but they call it the biofilm. Once you could pull the thin layer of biofilm off of the sores, then this is what it looks like when it comes off. So I think this is just more the biofilm, but you can see the black goo mixed in with it. So he is continuing to remove the not just the black goo, but the biofilm from his body. Okay. And then here we have more Q-tips that are coated in the Morgellons. And you can see here, it looks like there's more of the black goo and more of the Morgellons fungus coming out there. You see how dark the Q-tips are, which tells you that his ears are impacted with this Morgellons and this black goo. So, um, thank God, it's coming out. That he's able to remove it and it's coming out. And then I'm going to show you this one, last one. This one, this is a really good picture here because, hold on, let me see if I can get it up here where you can, because you can see more. This is a larger, looks like a larger piece of the biofilm that's covered with the, you've got the black goo down here on the right corner, and then it looks like the other Morgellons substance covering the other areas. But this, if you look at it close, you can see some of the sticky substance that I was talking about that comes out with Morgellons. It's some of it be sticky, and it is gel-like, but it's kind of like it's stickier, and it's like a, well, I don't know, maybe like a plasma, or I used to call it a plasma, but I didn't know for sure if that was the right word to use, but it's kind of like a plasma that comes out. And when if you like I said again, this is what forms over the sores. This film, there'll be a film of this over the sores, and when you pull this off, there'll be little pockets with organisms embedded inside these little pockets, kind of like you see in a wasp nest. When you pull the embryos out of the wasp nest before, or the little cocoon-looking things. That's what it looks like with Morgellons, and a lot of times you'll see this sticky substance around the organisms when you pull them out or when you remove them from the sores. So that's some pictures that Ken sent to me, and I wanted to share those with y'all just to show you that he is still struggling with Morgellons, and it's still an ongoing process for him of removing it from the body. And we want to thank Ken for sending those pictures and showing them and allowing me to share them with y'all. Just so in case anybody is wondering what it looks like, or what Morgellons, the Morgellons substance and the Morgellons biofilm and the fungus looks like when it's coming out of the body. This is recent, so he is still struggling, so we need to pray for Ken. But also, I did want to read a little bit about what he sent me, because this is important, okay? And he says, this is the one I got today. It's called treatment number 6. I just finished my 6th treatment, and only a few hundred, yes, just hundreds, came out this time. Down from tens of thousands the first 2 treatments. After the 3rd one, I had to give my body a rest because of all the toxins that came out after they came out. So it works. Wow. So, and this can be exhausting, folks. This is so exhausting. I know if you do the bathtub treatments every day, especially if you soak in Epsom salt or whatever you got in the bathtub, it can be so exhausting just doing the treatments, because it pulls the Morgellons out of the body, and then it's like when it comes out, or when you go to the detox, you feel like you've just been ran over by a freight train. You just, all of your energy, you're zapped. All your energy zapped, and you've got no strength, and you're just so weak. So I know exactly what he's talking about. When he's talking about that he needs to give his body a rest. But before I started, I made sure my kidneys, liver, and gallbladder and digestive tract were all cleaned out and working almost optimal. If you do this, and as they all come out, all the toxins will recirculate and really make you sicker than a dog. Sicker than a dog, okay. This is what the Morgellons gel plus the dirt does, okay. Now, he had written another email to me that was explaining to me about putting the dirt. I'm going to read a little bit of that to y'all because this is important. Okay, let me tell you what I've been up to. I have been watching a summit on parasites, and parasites are notorious for absorbing heavy metals, bacteria, mold, and viruses. Now, the worst thing you can possibly get are parasites because they contain all this stuff. They multiply fast and love a toxic environment. Yes, yes. Okay, the reason we can't get rid of many diseases like Lyme, Morgellons, and others is when we do a detox, we actually do get rid of the Morgellons virus, but all these parasites still contain the Morgellons virus and the parasites and tons of other deadly things. So they also release all kind of toxins, not to mention all the toxins that get released into your bloodstream from all the other stuff. So when a parasite dies, it releases what it has absorbed. So in these videos on parasites, this doctor hosting this summit really made me think, okay? He has had some patients that no matter what they tried would get better, then within a short time get sick again. So he wanted to get down to the core of why these patients weren't getting better. And with his research and my research, we came up with the solution. In order to get them cleared up, he had to add microbes in with a protocol, which it calls add a clay soil from an ancient ocean bed full of very old and exotic microbes. Well, this doctor hit pay dirt. Pardon the pun. Okay. Anyway, for the past month, I have been going downhill rapidly. Okay, now I didn't realize that Ken had been going downhill. I've been talking to him, and he tells me, mainly what's going on with him, but I didn't realize that he was really getting worse. So he's saying that he was getting worse, and I know he's referring to his Morgellons. Okay, so it turned out that the cholesterol pill I was taking caused a mega outbreak of Morgellons. Something you might want to remember if you take cholesterol pills. Okay, the reason my both good and bad cholesterol was so high was my body's reaction to fight off the Morgellons. Well, that medicine was creating the perfect storm for Morgellons. All I have the energy to do is sit in my chair all day and go lay down and rest. Okay, the baths stopped working. Morgellons got used to them, and an hour. And then an hour. When I get out, I start itching all over again. I was having a toxic overload. Okay, let me stop here because you can have a toxic overload of Morgellons. Okay, if you have a very, very, very severe case of Morgellons, in it can be overwhelming because it can be overwhelming for your body, but mainly when you start to detox or when you start removing the Morgellons from the body, sometimes if you have a lot embedded in your body, it will seem like it gets worse before it gets better because your body is releasing a lot of these toxins, and like Ken says, it drains you of your energy, and you have to rest afterwards. So you can feel like you're having a toxic overload, and I think that's what he's talking about. So now I'm doing the hydrogen peroxide diffuser treatments. Oh, and I talked about the hydrogen peroxide diffuser treatments where you take your essential oil diffusers and you can put hydrogen peroxide in those. You can add it to your essential oils, but I have just been using the peroxide, the 3% peroxide by itself. But you can just do whatever you want to. I mean, it's okay to add oils with it. Okay. And then and yesterday I got to thinking of doing the Morgellons gel with 1 cup of dirt plus a cup of water to thin it out because even the gel was only pulling just a small amount out. So I covered my whole body with the gel dirt mixture, and oh my God, the stuff that came out, I literally had thousands of not just black specks, but stuff that was even bigger that looked like little chunks of charcoal, which is in the picture that I just showed you. Okay, I did this twice yesterday, and same results. I also felt a layer of the base of my brain stem. Uh, I felt a layer at the base of my brainstem that felt like a mesh of some sort, but could not break it up, and my head was like 5 or more layers thick. Okay, stop there because I want to say a little bit about this mesh that he's talking about at the back of his brainstem. Now I have a video, so I'm not going to go into detail about it right here because I've made a video about it. But there was a time during my treatments for Morgellons when I used to soak my head in the Epsom salt that I pulled a I didn't think of it as a mesh at the time, but I guess you could call it a mesh. I pulled something that was hanging at the back of my neck, right there in front of the brainstem, where you got that, where you got that hollow place right there at the back of the head. It was hanging. There was something hanging there, and I pulled it, and it looked like a beehive or a some kind of nest. Okay, and back then, which was back in 2000, um, I think back then I just kind of just discarded it as just more of the weird skin I was getting off my body. But but I'm wondering now if that wasn't like a control, some kind of control device, because the way it looked, it was kind of like it was about you know it was about well, about that wide or that long, and it looked like a beehive, and it had little it had more of those little organisms in it. It was so terrifying to me. I did put it in a Ziploc bag, but it disappeared. I don't know if the thing vanished. I don't know what happened to it, but um, like I said, I didn't think much about it at the time because all I was thinking about was just getting this stuff out of me. But now I'm thinking that maybe since it was at the back of the at the head, it was covering the brainstem, that it might have been some kind of mechanism was that grew over the brainstem in order to control the body. And the fact that Ken has mentioned a mesh that he found over the brainstem, that is really, really significant because it describes exactly what I found over my brainstem, that I just kind of, brushed it off as being more weird skin. But now I'm thinking maybe there's something significant. Okay, listen to me, folks. Maybe there is something significant with Morgellons victims about a mesh over the brainstem. So if you have Morgellons, you may want to treat the back of your neck. You should be treating your whole scalp. Anybody who has Morgellons should be treating their whole scalp regularly. But you don't want to forget about the back of the brainstem, because if it is possible that something could be forming at the back of the brainstem, which is helping the powers that be control us. Okay, but anyway, after I removed that, I have always made a point to make sure that I put something strong back there, rub something strong back there over my brainstem, to make sure that nothing else builds up over it again. And when I say something strong, I'm talking about essential oils. Sometimes I use castor oil because castor oil is really thick and it protects the skin. So castor oil will protect the brainstem, and it will keep anything from building over your brainstem. But if you use essential oils, you're going to want to use a strong essential oil, something like thyme or frankincense, or uh, any of the rosemary, any of the strong, or summer savory, something that's strong that will penetrate the skin. to protect your brainstem. Now, you don't hear a lot of people with Morgellons talking about the brainstem. Okay, so it's possible that this doesn't happen with everybody, okay? But it happened with me back in the year 2000, like I said, when I was, when I was first stricken with Morgellons. Well, I was stricken in 1999. But it was a while before I found this. It took a lot of bathtub treatments, soaking in the Epsom salt, before I actually found this at the back of my neck, around my brainstem. So it's something that could be significant for Morgellons sufferers to make sure that you treat the back of your neck and your head. Okay? I had to say that because I felt like that's important. Because he says here, a layer. I did this twice yesterday and same results. I also felt a layer at the base of my brainstem that felt like a mesh of some sort, but could not break it up. Okay, Ken, you need to get that off of your brainstem any way you can. If you felt something back there, a mesh or anything, you need to get that off of your brainstem because it needs to be removed. That could be a way that they are controlling you. That could be a way that they are controlling us, okay? So, you need to remove that. Then it says, so today I did another treatment, and I think I broke up the mesh stuff, okay, at the base of my brain. Okay, so he says that he thinks he broke it up. Also, after getting out of the shower, I just laid on top of the bed in a hydrogen peroxide soup from the diffuser for 1 hour. I'm also still taking milk thistle now at 3 times the normal dose and not eating much of nothing but drinking tons of water to flush the toxins out of my body. And good news, it is working. I actually felt a little better this afternoon, even though I am still weak. I cleaned most of the parasites out of my liver, gallbladder, and digestive system, and am now concentrating on all the Morgellons parasites that live in your fat layer. Okay, the deepest part of the skin, subcutaneous fat layer. Okay, the final bullet is the microbes in the soil. The Morgellons flees from whatever is in my soil. Also, the clay helps soothe and heal the skin. I'm getting so much stuff out that my skin is actually red for 15 to 30 minutes after I get out of the shower. I'm going to keep going keep doing this 2 times a day until it slows to a crawl. Divide and conquer. We can't get rid of it, but we can rebalance our systems. Also, the nanobots are inside the black seed charcoal looking stuff. Usually the Morgellons has those tentacles buried in our skin, but the microbes throws it into the protective cyst stage, and all those tentacles withdraw into this stuff. And I just wash them off and out of my skin. Okay, not as many bugs by the thousands. I would at least like to get it down to a few hundred. So, to quote Andy Andrews, I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, it's kind of, I don't have enough light in here and I can't see it too good. Persistence. I may have to do this for the rest of my life, but at least I don't feel like I'm itching. I'm an itching. But at least I don't feel like I'm inching info by the way which releases tons of cortisol, the fight or flight hormone. If you stay in the fight or flight state all the time, your a sympathetic nervous system does not work, which drains out toxins, including your brain, during the night. Okay. Okay. He touched on something there. Let's see. Where was it? Oh yeah, where he talked about his skin being raw or turning red. Now I did that when I first started doing the bathtub treatments. I remember um, I was doing a lot of them. I was doing a lot of them because at the time I was horrified, and I was really having a lot of anxiety, and I was desperate. I was desperate to get this out of my body. So I was doing a lot of bathtub treatments, and my skin actually turned raw and red, and the places on me that weren't covered in the sores were cracked and oozing with this, Morgellons pus and stuff. So that's part of it. Your skin may turn red and raw, and you may get blisters. Okay. Now, and then I wanted to share this recipe that he sent. Okay, it says I just finished my 6th treatment and only a few hundred. Yes, I think I read this. Just a few hundred came out this time, down from tens of thousands. The first 2 treatments. After the 3rd one, I had to get my body a rest because of all the toxins that came out after they came out. So it works. Okay, this works. But before I started, I made sure my kidneys, liver, and gallbladder and digestive tract were all cleaned out and working. Almost optional. Okay, if you do this, okay, I think I've already read that. Anyway, this is what the Morgellons gel plus the dirt does. Okay, now I've used the Morgellons gel with the dirt. Matter of fact, I'm still using it. I have some that I keep next to my bathtub, the Morgellons gel, but I use the bentonite clay or the diatomaceous earth. So I've already tried this, and I know it works, but I think the dirt he's talking about is dirt right out of his yard. And he says you have to go like down beneath the top layers to get down to the fresh dirt. So let's see what it says. Okay. It breaks down the bio layer that they hide in. Okay. This is what the Morgellons gel plus the dirt does. Breaks down the biofilm layer that they hide in. It destroys the parasites that Morgellons hides in. It attracts the Morgellons to the top layer of skin with the sweet banana and blueberries. The microbes and good parasites and clay attack and expel the Morgellons, including the nanobots. I don't use any shampoo. I just towel off good, and it leaves a thin coat of clay and the live microbes on my skin to help rebalance a normal microbiome instead of a Morgellons microbiome. The key against all of this toxin environment they have created is to develop a superhuman immune system, most of which is your living microbiome instead of a Morgellons microbiome. The key against all of this toxic environment they have created is to develop a superhuman immune system, most of which is your living microbiome of natural good bugs, to put it simple. If we do this, it will help protect against all the toxins they throw at us, including EMFs, electrosmog, sprays, chemtrails, heavy metals, and the list goes on. I have been watching the Parasite Summit, and these natural expert doctors talk about all of this, including how bad 5G and EMFs are on our immune system. It also throws our body's hormones totally out of whack, which is the root of most illnesses, including mental health like me. All of these boogers, especially the Morgellons ones, can control every aspect of our body. If we lower their numbers low enough, they will have no effect on us. We just have to rebalance everything, and I think I have just added a new, very powerful tool to achieve this. Okay, so here is his new recipe for the Morgellons gel. 1 cup of buttermilk, 1 cup of water, 1 cup of blueberries, 1 banana, 1 cup of fresh dirt, and he's got secret weapons. So the dirt is the secret weapon. And now, he said that you can use dirt out of your yard, but you don't want to use the top dirt. You want to dig down below the top layers so that you can get the fresher dirt. Okay. And as a result, I am staying cool, calm, and collected instead of feeling irritable, all wound up and short-tempered. Okay. All right. Now that's all for what Ken has sent, and he's describing what he's going through with the Morgellons. So that's pretty much all that I have today from Ken and his situation with Morgellons right now. But if anybody has any questions for Ken, you can leave the questions in the comment section, and he'll see them and he'll get back with you and he'll answer your questions. And of course, if anybody needs any help with anything, you can also ask him or me or anybody else that has Morgellons, and they'll be happy to help you with whatever your situation is. So I'm going to go for now, and I love you guys. Bye.